Hello, my beautiful souls. Welcome into your daily read for Wednesday. I, of course, hope you're doing well. I'm feeling a bit more alive and kind of back to myself today, and that might be part of what this day entails for you. But we're going to begin with an overall energy from the Queen of the Moon Oracle, and then I have the Mermaid Tarot and the Everyday Witch Tarot, the smaller version for the main part of the reading. But with that mouthful said and done, we have Trust from the middle of the deck. Very interesting. Because when I was pre-shuffling before in one of the many attempts to get this reading started, I did see this at the bottom of the deck and Spirit pushed me to go like this, given it was relevant for the reading. But we also have Protection, which I don't think has ever come out in one of my readings. It feels like when it comes to something you're very focused on making work for you, whether it's something brand new, an expansion of some sort, a continuation otherwise of a situation, you are going to be informed and or reminded that you are very protected when it comes to that, okay? It feels like this is a time where you're going to, whether you realize it or not, okay, a lack of pleasure is on the mind or taking a focus otherwise, but it's a time where you're going to be focusing on transformation outside of you and within you. It feels like being drawn to this reading, you're changing, and what you focus on throughout this energy period, this day, and more so after it, okay, is going to really inform you of how you're changing and maybe in a smaller way or two remind you as well. But let's move on to the tarot part of the reading. Interesting, we got 3 from that. So let's pull an overall energy from here. Definitely pre-shuffled. Been using this as my personal deck. The Queen of Pentacles, my friend, absolutely beautiful. So it's another day where money's on the mind, taking a focus, but other rewards are coming to focus as well. I feel like you're needing to trust in yourself and in your intuition, if I could speak throughout this day wholeheartedly, in order to shift you forward in an accurate manner. Because it feels like there are going to be voices heard throughout this day, one if not multiple other people in your life, could be absolutely spirit, but I do feel like you and your inner voice, but you're needing to feel it out for yourself and figure out how to move forward, how to get things more in order, how to receive more for some. But it feels like you're needing to remember being drawn to this reading. When something is meant to come in, it's going to come in the way it's meant to, in that divine timing. We cannot force it. You cannot force it, okay? And neither can somebody else who wants to, okay? But it feels like this is a time where you're gaining other levels of trust from other souls, right? There's a wordy way of putting it. Surprise, surprise with these readings. But yeah, other people are gaining, developing trust in your individual word, in what you're saying. I feel like your advice and even your spirituality for some is coming into play. As I said, that really weird. But it's naturally a day with what we've been saying where you're needing to trust your intuition and maybe growing, strengthening that that connection to it or with it. But all the meanwhile, other people are trusting your intuition, trusting your experience and what you're saying from the past and currently. And this is setting you up for more success moving forward. But I also feel like there's a very poised way about you, but potentially, like I was saying in the beginning, if I did for this attempt, you're feeling a bit more alive, but more grounded than you were feeling when you were lacking this energy, okay, or this motivation, or both. But the spiritual meaning of a duck is coming into play. The spiritual meaning of a duck. I also feel like there is a messenger coming through. Now, you could also be this messenger, but I'm getting specifically with this bird here. Somebody's going to give you good news. Okay, so good news is coming through, and this will alter your focus for the better and will remind you that you're protected. But I feel like there's a reminder to be taking care of yourself. You may be so ultra focused, laser focused on this and that and getting ready and achieving more and maybe cleaning up in one if not multiple ways, that you forget at certain points throughout this time to eat healthy, to fill up your your temple, your body with fresh water and other things that are necessary for you individually. And to take care of your outer appearance is essential as well. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's a day that reminds you and potentially pushes you to bump your beauty, your looks, and how you're feeling even to the top of your priority list. I guarantee it won't be number 1, but it needs to be further up on the list. when you do find yourself oddly enough or randomly losing your breath or having to catch your breath, this is a sign that a spirit has come to visit you temporarily to remind you why that situation or why a situation has to be left behind moving forward, and potentially as well, or in general, reminding you why a situation had to be left behind in the past. Does that make sense? I know that was a struggle to spit out, but it had to be said. Keywording. Let's pull from the main tarot deck. Already 5.5 minutes out. Bear with me as my voice shakes a bit. There's also going to be a focus on when an energy in a situation or an energy stemming from somebody, or what you were just wrapped up with otherwise, how that affects you in a shaky manner. And that may reiterate why a change needs to come to be moving forward. But it may as well, or in general, remind you of a change that had to happen from the past. And it may also just reiterate what you've gained knowledge and awareness wise about that person, place, situation, occurrence, or maybe a habit for somebody. But coming out, the Judgment card, the Moon card, and the Ace of Wands, there's a mystery wrapped up into a new passionate beginning that lies ahead for you. It may have been sparked really recently if that's the case for some, but it feels more future oriented. In this, with the Moon card, this mystery but emotional fulfillment that does lie ahead for you does need to as well be wrapped up with certain levels of honesty. What do I need to do now to make this last, to make it work, or to see things work out more so in my favor? Does that make sense? But I wouldn't be surprised if this, what they're saying is a new chapter for you, whether it feels like that now or more so will later. We're needing to be honest with other people as well. Okay. And that will help, that will assist. And again, that's tied up into your intuition and people trusting, or at least more so trusting what you have to say. Now, I also feel like it's a day, once again, where music is coming into play. You may be guided to download, to add to a playlist, bear with me. But I feel like you are going to notice what's meant to last throughout this day and maybe remember as well. But it naturally will be highlighting what can't last, right? What's overdone, what's tired in your life, okay? What's making you tired is what I'm getting as well. Definitely highlighting your habits for some. Now, what you are choosing to associate yourself with is now what I'm getting. But the Ten of Swords and the King of Swords, with what we know, we're putting something to rest, my friend, for whatever reason or reasons. But it feels like with what you know from a past ending of some sort, if not a couple at most, you're going to need to tap into that, utilize it to make the best until the best in some way, shape, or form. But I also feel like you are needing to remember what needs to be gotten rid of in one way, shape, or form to feel more alive like you are throughout this day, or maybe not to risk diminishing or minimalizing that energy source. I hope that makes sense. But again, it's a day that reminds you to trust the fact that you are protected, okay? But if you're going to ignore your strong, glowing intuition at this time, you're going to be doing yourself a disjustice, and you're naturally going to be lacking at least some of this protection, all right? They're saying, or at least one form. But where you feel there's a lack of trust stemming from you when it comes to that person, place, or situation, whatever that ends up being for you, please know that this is accurate, okay? I don't know why this is coming through. You need to recognize, okay, that you made the right choice. That's coming through strongly, but I got that message for myself for a different situation. But anyways, I feel like this is a day where you're thinking about what's left behind, what you need to leave behind, and what needs to change. But I feel like through it all, again, you're changing. And it's a day where, your intuition is a huge, huge part of it, okay? It's a time for you to remember and to recognize what's come to an end and what's going to come to an end is beyond purposeful. But it's a time for you to feel more alive and to benefit from certain adjustments that you've made recently, but more importantly, are willing to and courageous enough to make now, okay? So I hope this was truly helpful. Sending you so much love and light. Go enjoy your day, and I'll definitely see you next time.